all these posts are telling us to cut off someone because of these red flags. There are so many of these posts on Instagram, guys, in the self-growth community of like reasons to cut off people and reasons to, yeah, just like all these reasons to end relationships and how it's stunting your growth. And here's the big one. When a lot of this like spiritual content or self-growth content is promoting the idea that relationships should come easily. Okay, that is unhealthy. That is toxic. Because then that probably has gotten in the head of so many people, and they're like examining every one of their relationships, going about their life and being like, is this coming easily? No, it's not. So then it's not in alignment, or like it's holding me back. It's holding back my growth. It should be coming easily. And this is, I mean, for anyone who's an overthinker, this is just feeding our overthinking, and it's not healthy. And why are we teaching people this? Okay. I don't think relationships need to come super easily. And I think it's important to be friends with someone and maybe even to date someone who has different beliefs than you. Because if you surround yourself with people who think exactly the same way, then that's not going to help you grow. That's going to hinder your growth. And so we're telling people like, you need to be around people who, it just seems like we're going to an extreme, where we're encouraging the idea that you shouldn't be putting so much effort into a relationship, but that is what a romantic relationship is in most cases. And I just think it's scary, like that is being promoted, because I definitely had to put work into my relationship and into friendships. And so, yeah, like I said earlier, it's probably just making us all overthink our relationships more and cut off things that don't serve us. And I think even that, the whole cutting off things that don't serve you is also being taken to an extreme, because it's like, if something isn't serving you, just leave it. And in some cases, that is really good. Obviously, if you are with a toxic partner or friend, then yes, you do probably want to leave unless you think it can be repaired. But usually you can't repair someone, they have to fix themselves and go to therapy. But I have really been like ranting this whole time. But these are things that I have noticed for a long time, and I've just kind of been holding in to like put my thoughts completely together about it. And it's been more apparent since I've been going through a breakup because of the responses that I'm getting from people. And it's telling me certain things about the way we approach relationships in this Western society and in the community of personal growth. It seems like your growth is more of a priority than having fulfilling relationships. We are social people, and I think we need relationships to fulfill us. So I see a lot of people in the community who are isolating themselves, maybe because it's easier, and maybe they've had a lot of toxic friendships that they've had to cut out. But I think we need to learn how to have healthy relationships and not just be told that we need to cut more and more of them off. Maybe some of you don't relate to this, but this is what I'm seeing in the trends these days. And this goes into hyper independence. And I think especially for women, because we are being told that we can be anything and we can do everything on our own, right? Have a career, be financially independent, support ourselves, have a house, have pets, travel alone, do all these things alone. And it is empowering to see that. But then I feel like it's ending up culminating in a generation of loneliness. Like, does anyone else feel like our generation, Gen Z and millennials, I think a lot of us are ending up lonely. And let me tell you, all of the clients I have had in my coaching business have been millennials. And for most of them, the subject of relationships is an issue for them. But yeah, anyways, like I think for women especially, we are being told and kind of encouraged to be hyper independent and like focus so much on ourselves that we don't end up creating or looking for romantic relationships. And maybe not everyone wants a romantic relationship, and that's fine. But I think I'm talking to the people who do. It just seems like we are romanticizing having a closed heart and being able to do everything by yourself. And being self reliant is important. I actually remember reading that there's an essay by Emerson that is called Self Reliance, I think. And I remember reading it when I was 16, and it was so powerful. It was very impactful for me. And I really loved and resonated with what he was saying about how amazing it is to be self reliant. But I think you can be self reliant and also prioritize relationships. And I feel like we need to live in a way where we don't have to be self reliant, you know? Like you can build a life where you have the ability, but you don't have to necessarily use it. I just see so many people in our generation feeling lonely. And I think it has to do with how we approach relationships. And this has been noticed by other people too. I was reading an article from Harvard that talks about how Western psychotherapy is actually cultivating a generation of narcissism. Yeah, it was a very interesting article. I thought about posting it. I can link it down below. But it also talked about how you see this pattern arising these days of like people leaving their relationships in order to find themselves, quote unquote, find themselves. And if you think about Maslow's hierarchy, which is a thing in psychology where it's like it's like a triangle and it shows your wants and needs as a human. At the bottom of the pyramid, what you definitely need is like safety and security, food, sleep, shelter, right? And then at the top of the triangle is self-actualization, which is reaching your full potential. And for me, I think that that's very important to reach your full potential. But I think below that is the importance of having relationships that fulfill you and make you feel connected. So I think that basically some of the self-growth trends I'm seeing these days are really prioritizing that top of the triangle. Like you need to do everything to grow, and like all that matters in your life is reaching your full potential. And I mean, I think that the purpose to life is trying to reach your full potential, but I don't think you can do that without meaningful relationships. I'm pretty sure that that is below in the triangle, which means you need it in order to reach self-actualization. And I think people are skipping steps, and this is leading to so much loneliness in our generation. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships, but also friendships. I think that some of us don't even know how to make friends. And specifically, I'm talking to females and women out there who it can be hard for us to like have female friendships because we've been taught to like compete against each other and put each other down, and we're still healing from that. And I mean, for myself, honestly, it has been a struggle in my whole life to have female friendships where I don't feel insecure and I don't get jealous and I don't have issues with. Like that is something I am still working on. And I don't know if any male listeners, like if you guys relate to this. I feel like it is more of a female thing, but it could happen in male friendships too. Basically, overall, what I'm saying here is we should learn more about how to develop healthy friendships and relationships. We should prioritize that more than we are. And we are probably over prioritizing being hyper independent. And so I think that's leading to a lot of our issues these days with feeling sad and left out and FOMO and feeling unfulfilled, right? Like you'll see people on TikTok who look like they're doing amazing with their self-growth, but I I think a lot of those people are still struggling to feel fulfilled. And I think that comes back to relationships.